Hey guys, this is Sean from the Pompey Games Room. Thanks for checking out my latest video here, which is a review of the Sega Megajet. Effectively, this item in front of you here is a Mega Drive Genesis, which was designed as a portable unit. It was mainly used on Japanese airline flights in late 1993, where passengers would be able to rent this unit during flights. Basically, to use this unit, all you had to do was hook it up to the small LCD television screen installed into the armrest of each seat on a Japanese airline plane. During the flight, you would be able to bring your own cartridges to play, or choose from one of 4 games that were usually in constant rotation on Japanese airline flights, such as Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP2, Sonic the Hedgehog being among the favourites. It's also rumoured that the other 2 games were Super Hang-On and Columns. But it's pretty cool to think that you could actually take your Mega Drive games on the flight with you to play during your commute. So let's actually take a quick look at the box then. It's a standard Sega design, trying to stick with the colour scheme, And this actual unit I bought brand new. It came actually sealed. I've since opened it. I've never actually used the unit though. It's in pretty good nick. I mean, there's no sort of sort of tears or anything to it. There's a little bit of fraying at the corners, that's about it. But the main thing about this brilliant item is the artwork on the back, I think. It's how to actually install the unit and how to use it. I mean, you've got pretty good diagrams on the back here how to use it, and obviously Sega are really pushing this as a portable unit, so you've got cartoons there of some guy putting it in his bag, taking it over to his friends and storing it in a drawer even, but it's pretty idiot-proof instructions on these boxes really. They really sort of showed you how to use it. Obviously you've got your additional controller port down there, so obviously a 6-button configuration on this machine. This could be activated during gameplay obviously by pressing the mode button, which is situated on the handheld itself, and we'll talk about that once we get into the box and actually get hold of the unit itself. So that's the box, guys. Like I said, it comes in the standard sort of Sega box colours and things like that, but this thing came, I actually bought this on eBay. They're pretty pricey nowadays, but I bought this on eBay brand new. The instructions are still sealed and things, so let's take a look inside the box. My actual unit came with columns. It doesn't come with a case, they just come with basically the instruction manual and the game itself. So obviously the game itself is a Japanese cart. But there's actually a rumour going around about these that, well, basically it was in Retro Gamer issue 27 where there was an article on the Megajet. Basically they stated that there was a shipment of these that got hijacked in the Indonesian Sea by Indonesian pirates. Basically what happened is the pirates opened these actual units from their factory seal and took out the games of any value and put in games that weren't so sort of sought after. So who knows, maybe these units came with sort of Sonic games or something like that. They stripped out all the games that were of any value, sold those separately, and then resold these units with games, who knows, such as Columns, free or something like that, games that weren't selling as well. But it's a pretty interesting fact that, and definitely check out Retro Gamer, which is a UK retro gaming magazine for those guys that haven't heard of it. And that magazine is issue 27, and there's actually an article on this, so take a look there anyway. So let's go into the box. This thing is amazingly packed. I mean, really is. These things would never have been damaged in transit at all. They come obviously with the unit, your instructions, which will be on top, your game, which will be packaged to the side, and the instruction manual. You'll get a standard power brick, your TV cables. Again, I'll say something about the packaging. Everything's got a place in this thing. It's absolutely brilliant. And obviously the Megajet itself. So the Megajet itself, it's a pretty light item. I'm not going to lie. It's comfortable to hold. The buttons feel good, very responsive. Like I said, I've never used it, so I don't actually know if this unit works, but it looks in brilliant nick. Obviously there, the bottom, there's not a scratch on this thing. The one thing I would say is that it feels like it's been made of pretty cheap plastic. I mean, this thing, it's like, there's no giving it at all. I think if this fell on the floor, it would probably break pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, your cartridge will go on the top there. You would then use these adapters here. Obviously, you've got your power adapter here, and your aerial adapter, where you plug into. You've also got your second controller port there. You've got a volume switch, You've got your headphone jack, on and off obviously, and mode, which is a button there. Basically what would happen is there's two lots of games obviously for the Mega Drive. The earlier Mega Drive games would require that you had a 3-button controller. Some of them will not work with a 6-button configured controller, so basically what they did to get around this is they put this little mode button on the side, and when you pressed it, it would allow you to use the upper buttons for certain games. Games like Altered Beast do not work with a 6-button controller, so you have to actually activate this button here to use this controller settings for 6-button games, and it will automatically set itself to the 3-button format unless this is pressed. So that's pretty important to know. Now obviously there are other handhelds that Sega did, and effectively this Megajet unit is essentially a Nomad. Obviously a Sega Nomad, I reviewed this in an earlier video. This console is essentially a Megajet but with a built-in screen. So yeah, I mean this unit, I mean it's pretty cool. I mean I absolutely love it. I've never used it, but it's a great item to have. It was actually given a consumer release, this Megajet, in March of 1994 at a cost of $123 and it was marketed as a portable Mega Drive. It was only available in limited quantities in department stores upon release, but you know, with no built-in screen, this thing just never really caught on, unfortunately, and it was eventually replaced by the Nomad in 1995. Essentially, when you think about it, the Sega Megajet is effectively the same sort of thing as a plug-and-play games adapter that you can get today, that you plug into the TV, where you get the standard Mega Drive games and you can hook them up to the TV. Obviously, you know, you can buy these in most department stores in the UK, especially with sort of sensible soccer and Sonic games on them. So Sega really wanted to use this unit to say, look, well, you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a Mega Drive. Obviously the Mega Drive was coming to the end of its time when this unit came out in 1994 for its consumer release, so they probably just had units that they wanted to get rid of, because apparently a lot of these units are actually reconditioned from the flights, and they were sold. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting thing to know. It's also worth noting that obviously the Game Gear, which is another handheld by Sega, when you put all these three together, I mean, you know, size-wise, they're pretty good. I mean, you know, you're looking there at some pretty cool little handheld consoles. I mean, you know, the Game Gear itself is a great little console. It's got a great following. The Nomad obviously is pretty difficult to get hold of due to only being available in North America. And you've got the Megajet, which is pretty rare and can actually fetch a pretty penny on eBay. At the moment, they're selling for about anything from sort of £100 to £200. So, you know, they're pretty good. If you can pick them up for a reasonable price, definitely go ahead and do that, guys. So some people will argue that this is essentially not a handheld, effectively, the Megajet, as you need to have it constantly hooked up to a power supply due to there not being any battery compartments here. Basically on the back all you've got is grooved plastic, you know, hands, so you can actually slot your hands into it to play. That's where the Megajet, obviously, the Megajet, it doesn't actually have its battery port, but you had to buy it separately, and what happened is that bolted on here, and then obviously the power went in there. So effectively that's one thing that really shot this this system in the foot, that it never really had a power source apart from being plugged in, so you couldn't really take it sort of, you know, and just, you know, hook it up to one of these portable TVs or something. It had to have an actual portable an actual power supply. It's also worth mentioning that none of the bolt-ons, such as the Sega CD or 32X, will work with this. It's pretty weird actually, because when Sega released this, you know, you had consoles like the PlayStation 1 that was due to be released in the next few months. In my opinion, Sega really shot themselves in the foot, spending loads of money on this system when it wouldn't really further enhance their name, or even take advantage of technology that was already available on the Genesis and Mega Drive systems. What I mean by this is that when you saw this unit in a store at the time, you would have simply thought, great, another Sega 16-bit console, rather than the, wow, this looks different, I must buy it, which obviously is what Sega were aiming for with this, and it just never caught on when it was out. So there we go, guys. This is a quick look at the Sega Megajet. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's just been a quick video really looking at it, so you guys can take a look. I've had this in my collection for about a year now, and probably over a year. I mean, I bought this on eBay. I got a really good deal on this, and it's a great little bit of kit. But like I said, expect nowadays to pay anywhere upwards of sort of £100 plus. You know, it's something for it's a collector's piece. You know, it's something. Obviously, it was only available in certain regions. It was only available in department stores, so you know there are not many of these around. So if you ever see one, guys, make sure you pick it up. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching.